Disclaimer: this video is not professionally made. I am not a pet expert. I am strictly using what my knowledge of pets is in this video. Hey guys, Psychic Pictures here, and welcome back to Puppy Days. Now, this video is not going to have too much progress, but it's something that I was going and doing earlier, which is teaching Sly sit. Ah, bud, we're gonna go and teach sit again. We're gonna go do that. So, instead of the treats I used last time, I'm going to be using Milk Bones. Now, these are very good for inside the house. For my purpose, at least. You can go and do any treats if you're just teaching your puppy in general. But if you're going and teaching, like, say, a service dog or emotional support animal, like me, then Milk Bones are pretty much strictly for in the house. Hi, bud. You want some of these? So I'm going to take a bit out, put him in my pocket, and then see how he likes it. All right, buddy. Let's go and chop some in half. Sly. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Chop this in half again. And I really want to get sit down before I go and do any other tricks. So he's going to go and be taught sit a lot. All right. And it's not the quantity of it's not how many treats you give him that's important. It's the pieces that you give him, the number of pieces. So look, sit, good boy. And that was a very small treat. Come here. Sit, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Over here. Sit, good boy. Good boy. So, sitting is pretty much the basic trick you can teach them, along with going and saying their name and having them respond. Sly, good boy. Good boy. Like that. Those two are the basic tricks that you can teach them, where you go and say their name and they pay attention to you. Yeah. Or actually having them sit down. Look. Got some more. Got some more. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. As I said, you want to try to have them sit once. Say sit once. And have them go and sit. Sly? Sly? Good boy. Good boy. And they have very sharp teeth, so when they are babies, so be careful of that too. Good boy. Done with your treat? Alright. So, alright. Oh, you still have some in your mouth, you silly. Come over here. Oops. Sorry, dude. Sorry. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. And I'm going to pretty much go and give him one more of these tiny Milk Bones, and then I'm going to call it quits for this video. Because I don't want him to overeat new foods, because that can cause an upset stomach for the puppies. Alright. Over here, Sly. Look. Sit. Good boy. And just keep doing that for a few days. See if you can go and have that happen while you're standing. So I'm going to try one more, but this time I'm going to kneel. And I have a small bone, crack it in two. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. You missed some, dude. You missed a little bit. Right there, too. You're sitting. See? One more. Sit. Good boy. So he's getting it. He's getting it. I don't expect a Van Gogh painting when it's related to puppies training, but that was a good training session. Yeah, it was. That was very good. That was very good, buddy. And you saw that he got distracted with the toy. He didn't know I had anything else. So, also, you can use their actual food for training. So I'm going to ditch the rest of the milk bones I have in my pocket, because I think I gave him enough. And I'm going to use his actual food. How about you're probably hungry? You're probably hungry, huh? I'm just going to pour a little bit in there for now. Oop. I almost fell over. Good thing this dresser was in the way. Sly. 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 Good boy. Good boy. So you can go and say their name as well if you want to get their attention. And if they go and respond, then you can go and give them a treat. Sly. Sly. Good boy. Good boy. Good job. Sit. Good boy. So yeah, you can go and give them their own food when it's time to feed them in order to train them. Does he need water? Yeah. But try to keep the sessions of training to about 15 minutes. If you have it about 15 minutes, that's pretty much the attention span of the dog. As a puppy, at least. Sit. Good boy. Good job. Good job. Good job, puppy. Sit. Good boy. Good job. Good job. Good boy. Mwah. Good job. And also, you want to, what is it? You want to over-exaggerate your praise. So, if there's something that they did that you really want them to know, then you can go and just overly praise them. A very good example of this is going outside. Normally, this is not that big of a deal for a lot of people. But if you're potty training the puppy, that's a very big deal. When they're potty training, you want to go and overpraise them for what they're doing. You want your food? Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to go put it over here. And I'll feed you full. There we go. There we go. So, what was I saying? With potty training, you want to over-exaggerate praising them. Because if you just go, good boy, they're really not going to know what that is. If you go and say, good boy, good boy, good boy, and love on them, like pets and things like that, then they'll pretty much go and say, oh, when I go outside and pee, I'm praised. And they'll go and pretty much communicate to themselves that if I go outside, I'm going to get praised. I'm going to get pets. Huh, buddy? Hi, bud. So they're going to want to go out more and more often. Also, with puppies, before you have them with their medical stuff, before you go and talk with them with what am I trying to say? When you go and set up an appointment for them at the vet's, if it's before that date that you have the dog, which is almost always going to be the case, you want to go and pick up their dog mess right away if you have other dogs, and more likely than not, you're going to pick it up anyway if this is your first dog, because most puppies actually do have worms, and and worms can actually be transferred to humans, which is not a good thing, and it can be transferred through feces and things like that. But it's always better with puppies to go and pick up their dog mess before the vet tells you if they have worms or not. If they do, then you definitely want to pick up their feces. But if they don't, you still technically want to clean it up right away. What else is there? With potty training them. What's up? What else is there, puppy? What else is there with potty training? What else is there with potty training? Also, you don't want your dog to be eating 24/7. With mine, he free-fed when he was with his brothers and sisters. So I feed him until he's full, but I would suggest about a cup 3 times a day. 2 or 3 times a day, depending on the puppy. Ow! You silly, that hurt. You silly, that hurt. That hurt, you silly. Yeah, I know. I know. You silly. Okay, you want to go play? Here you go. Or do you want the crinkle one? The crinkle? Also, when you bring your dog into your house, you will discover what toys they more are compelled to play with. Mine, Sly, goes and really likes the crinkle of the toys. Like, this one that he has right now is a reindeer, and it crinkles when it crinkles on the head. So he really likes that crinkle sound. So that's actually his favorite toy right now. He does go from toy to toy, since we have a lot. But for the most part, he goes for the crinkle toy. But for the most part, you want to... I know I said something different than this in the previous video, but with with training, you want to go and train them pretty much when it's time to feed them. When it's time to feed them, they're more inclined to pay attention to you if they're hungry. If they're not hungry, they're not going to pay attention to you too much. Hi. Hi, bud. Hi, buddy. Like, for example, I just now fed him in this video, so that's why I wasn't going and that's why I didn't feed him before the video, because I wanted to train him. Hey, no. And of course the phone goes off. Of course the phone goes off. But you want to feed them after you're done training. So you want to go and pretty much use their own food to train, for the most part. Because if you don't do that, which I actually found this out myself, it causes an upset stomach for training. It causes an upset stomach for them, and I saw that. You silly. But I learned my lesson that you want to go and use their actual dog food to train them before you feed them. And you can occasionally throw in like milk bones or the treats I had in the last episode, but for the most part, you want to go and use the dog food instead of the dog snacks to train them to start off with. Because it can cause an upset stomach, and it's not that good for a dog. It's not that good for a puppy, I should say. With a dog, diarrhea is nothing. But for puppies, my sister actually used to work in a vet clinic, so she knows this. Apparently, puppies can actually die from having diarrhea. So I need to go and be more cautious about that, because he had half diarrhea, half normal poop. But I need to keep an eye on that. And also, when potty training them, once you feed them, and about half an hour later, let them out to go poop. Because if you don't do that, and you have them in the kennel after they eat, or are in the kennel while they're eating, you're going to have a mess on your hands. Because for my case at least, Sly's poop was really soft. So that would have been hell to go and clean up. Because it would have been all over him. So I would have to go and give him a full-on bath to do that. Which, the bath, we'll cover in another video, probably. But for now, this has been Psychic Pictures, and I'll see you guys next time for more Puppy Days.